And then go back into your screen share. Thanks.
Come on in, Kathy Bercy.
Is this the meeting?
This is the meeting. It is. I think we just turned the heat on. I can smell it.
Oh. What happened?
You nasty.
It does smell good.
You missed your
I know,
hands.
how did that happen?
It picked on you.
All
Yeah,
right.
that does smell really good. Yeah.
So once we get it all squared away here,
Ooh,
I think I'm
fancy.
good.
fancy one. This is my old one, Kathy. You've probably seen a lot of this. I'm gonna go get the other two tools we have.
game. We know.
Mhm.
Oh,
I'm so excited for this week.
you got something going?
Absolutely nothing, but I will create something.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Yeah.
A new week.
I have Halloween party on Saturday with my son.
Oh, really? I was wondering how that's gonna go. Like, are kids trick or treating still?
I'm gonna take my girlfriend. She has a ranch house and big backyard. She's doing a party. She
Oh,
bouncy
that's
house.
nice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
bouncy house, and we make a fire.
How old's
Oh,
your son?
12.
All right.
that would be fun.
Yeah.
This is fancy stuff. I've never seen this. No.
Yeah, I think my nieces are going trick or treating. They're 4 and 6, but I don't know because it seems kind of weird to me. Like, are people really gonna answer their doors? Like, I don't know. And then are they
It'll
all
be
gonna wear
interesting to
masks or
see
like all
what
the little
happens.
kids? Yeah.
They should.
All right. So I'll just go through this quick slideshow. I have 2 slideshows. And so listings are the name of the game. We always say that. Why are they the name of the game? Because you get so many other things when you get a listing. Okay, you get all the advertising out to the public, you get your name recognition, you get some street cred. That's what you want to start saying to people. Hey, I get 3 or 4 listings, 2 or 3 listings, whatever. I've done a lot of, and these are the numbers. Realtors doing under 6 million, 70% of their volume, they're mainly buyer's agents, right? Okay, these are just regular stats you see from GLVAR. Why do listings are the name of the game is because there is that residual of buyers. Typically your seller is going to be buying as well. So it's basically a double transaction some of the time. I'm not going to say all the time or most of the time. Just simple math. Okay, these numbers obviously change around. It sounds simple, doesn't it? Just get to 24 listings a year. 90% of them will sell. Here's your basic numbers. You'll get 5 or 6 sales from somewhere else, maybe another 10 from ad. So the numbers really work. They don't lie. They're just there. Okay, whether or not your volume is what it is or your number is what it is. But the fact is, if you go out and there's your number, so let's just say you did half of that. Okay, so that's a pretty good year
Pretty
for
good
most
nut.
people in there, right?
Yeah.
So we look at listings, and right now in the market, if they're priced even close to relevant, and I don't know if you guys are on the streets with buyers and having a hard time with buyers, but it's tough. I mean, it is tough right now, no matter what your price range is, realistically. Okay, why? Advertise a listing. We have social media, FSBOs, expires. We get to do open houses. You get a lot of value when you can actually get some inventory. You get your incoming calls, your presentations. You just become better the more times you get to a living room. We like to get into the living room, get the appointment, and get to work. It's dedication, commitment to education. Okay, a lot of the times we don't get in because we're afraid of failure. Just what are they going to say? No. Okay, are we going to lose to a Redfin at 1%? You probably are. And all I see on the market right now is those inventory. That's the ones that are typically sitting around. They price them incredibly incorrect. They're taking a huge discount. Okay, so that's some of our challenge, what we have here. What have we done? Okay, cold calls. This is how we get listings. How many cold calls a day are we making? Are you calling the for sale by owners? Any NODs that you have? expired listings, the old ones, 6, 8, 12, 24 months ago. Okay, because they were trying to sell it at 300,000 a year and a half ago, couldn't get their number. It went out of their mind. Okay, so these are just places to get them. Okay, our fancy presentations. We have these nice CMAs and stuff. I'm going to go through my book here and how we put together listing paperwork. Okay, where do we get them? Expires again. You can start running for advertisements. We can start looking all around here. The do not call list. Oh yeah, I'm not afraid of those. Okay, we don't care about the do not call list. Okay, that's who we always come up with reasons why I'm not gonna. I just don't want to. I mean, have you done what it takes to get into living rooms? That's our goal here. If we're trying to get into 24 appointments this year, let's say that's our goal going into 2021. I want to have 24 listing presentations. Okay, again, let's say we only get half. It's a pretty darn good start. So we just come up with excuses after excuse. Why am I not doing it? So we're just waiting for people to call us. A lot of the times, nobody's going to make us succeed. Nobody's going to give you the call. Nobody's going to come and knock on your door asking you to sell their house. Okay, but what they will do if they see you in the street and you're doing an open house, I don't care if it's at a ABC Realty's open house, you're out there marketing yourself. Okay, I'm not even taking this. Okay, but I'm here to go and try and sell this. Okay, there's nothing special about people, just what makes them special. Okay, here's all my fun stuff. We want to put together a listing presentation where it just says, hey, we're not leaving this house until we get an answer out of them. Okay, it takes practice. Okay, does it take this? No, it's just perfect practice that we work on all the time. We always go through the motions of when's the last time you did a listing presentation? Lindsay, when's the last time you had to go to the seller's house and do a listing
I
presentation?
mean, I only did one, and that was last month.
Okay.
But now they're saying that they think they just want to stay and like refinance because they're getting old.
Okay.
I'm like, well, so I don't really know what to say to that because
Sure.
they were like, the interest rate is so low, like we would be saving like a ton of money because they like their house, but it's massive and it's just two people. And I think I had mentioned it to
Yeah.
you, and it's like 3,500 square feet, or maybe less, but it's 2 stories and they want a single story.
Oh.
But that's really the only thing where it's like,
A lot of the times if we
Well,
find them what they're looking for,
Yeah.
that's our
well, that's
motivation.
what they're
That's a
concerned
very
about.
good
That's
idea.
exactly what they're concerned about, because like they at first they wanted like a 4-car garage with like a pool for like 700, and then the ones that we saw they like didn't really like them or they were gone or something. So they're like, well, we can't really find anything. They're like, so we're probably just gonna see. We're gonna wait. But I
The
don't know what else to
beautiful
say
thing
now.
about Las Vegas is I totally agree with that. Because we're in the city that if you don't like what you see, it's like the weather in New England. If you don't like the weather there, wait a minute. If
Mhm.
you don't see
That's
what
what
you
they're
find here
doing.
right now, let's just
Yeah.
wait.
But they're so nice. Like I call them like every week, and I was actually gonna call them today, and they're just like, we're just being honest with you. They're like, we really don't know right now.
Yeah.
That's
And
all we can do.
so-
You just gotta keep
Yeah.
asking. Now you're on to the next one.
But at first I was like scared because I'm like, oh, I've never had to do listing presentation. I don't even think I practiced with Dave or like anything except when I talked to you. But they're so easy to talk to that it was just like natural. They were just like looking at all documents like, oh, that's how much you make. Oh, okay. But they were just like really easy about it. They're just like, oh, okay. So I'm like, oh, this is pretty easy. And so I know they like me because they say like, oh, there's other agents that have tried to talk to us, this, that, but we like you. They like me. They really are not sure right now, like what to do. So I don't really know what to say except follow up with them because we haven't found anything right for them yet.
It's just
Keep looking though. That's the
Yeah.
important thing, because if you can't even get close to it, and then just, keep sending it to them and saying, look what I found today, and I don't know if you've seen this, and, just so that you can keep that going, but you're not
Yeah.
bugging them all the time.
Yeah.
So why did 20% of the realtors make all the money? Okay, we always know what they're doing. You look at anybody who's successful in our business, they're constantly doing the stuff. Okay, they're doing the open houses, they're doing the cold calling, they're doing the prospecting. They're not, look at number 3 up there, we're not wasting time with insincere buyers and insincere sellers. Okay, you may be in the business for 1 year or 100 years. If you're not firing clients that are eating up your time, you're just going to start wasting your time. Okay. When you get to a point where, hey, I have 3, 4, 5, 6 guys, you're either in or in the way. Okay. So it's you where you have to kind of separate the wheat from the chaff, as they say, is to get to the bottom. What's your timeline? What's your expectation? Again, we'll get to that during our listing presentation. You a was agent or an is agent? I see and hear that all the time. He was good. He was a good player. He was a good person. He was a good agent. Or are they a good agent? Are they doing the stuff that it takes today? Okay, cross your fingers. We're just hoping for it. We got to go out. Listen, what we do isn't brain surgery. It just isn't. Okay, our industry is not brain surgery. It's about numbers. It's how many living rooms can I get in? So you've been doing this a long time. How many listing presentations, Dave, have you been on? 3? Okay. Carmen, how about you?
There's a lot more.
He's
One.
primarily buyer, you know, that's his
Yeah.
MO, right? Okay,
Yeah.
which is
Two,
2?
I
Okay.
guess, yeah.
And Kathy, how about you over these
Oh,
years?
well,
Well,
I've been doing this for too many
We've been
years.
doing a long
You
time.
usually have
Yeah.
more
It's hard to
listings than
say.
buyers, right?
Pardon me?
You usually have more listings than buyers? Or-
No, not really. Recently, I have
Yeah,
had more
recently.
more listings, but I do both sides.
Yeah, that's good.
So let's get up to our top here. Okay, listing back in here. Okay, we do the same numbers there. The advertising, the benefits of doing all that stuff is getting the phone to ring. Okay, where do we get them? All the FISBOs. Tell me about your home. Any major, this is where we're going before we go on our appointment. Like, thanks so much, Dave. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Just got to ask you a few questions so I can do my homework prior to getting over there. Okay, this is our
That's-
research, right? This is where, thanks so much for taking the time. I appreciate us getting the opportunity to come and interview for the job. Tell me a little bit about your home. Have you done any improvements? Tell me the features. Why did you guys buy? Give me your 3 whys so I can start putting together my campaign. Okay, before we do all that, before we show up, why are you guys selling? Okay, it's not a bad question to ask that so we can be prepared. When we go to the meeting, you want to be prepared as you can with all the stuff that you might have answers for. So if you do this pre-sale or pre-listing presentation, then we'll have some of this interview stuff kind of handled. Hey, I remember when we were talking, you guys are moving to Chicago. You want to upgrade, you want to downgrade, you want to. Okay, why do you want to sell? Have you ever had, how long do you expect this to take? You know, just good little stuff. So we're the pros. Remember that? We're the professionals here trying to get as much data so we can go into this thing with some value. Okay, we can all go in there and every one of us in this room, all 5 of us could go and say, hey, let's market this property right here. Let's just comp it up. We're all going to be relative. Okay, little here, little there. We're going to give a range. We can always say, you know, what do you think my house is worth? I said, you know, I can give you a ballpark over the phone, but we really need to see up what your improvements are, your backyard landscaping upgrades, this and that, you know, things that you may convey with the house that you are. So right now, I'm just not prepared to give it to you, but you know, let me know what you think it is. So we can all as real estate agents come in with a realistic number, right? I mean, that's not any secret. Let's see here. Find out what the competition is. Are you going to be interviewing other people? When are you going to be doing that? Do you have plans on interviewing other people? Okay, we need to know this stuff. Do they care? Do we care? It's a conversation piece. What am I competing with? Am I going to be competing with a discount Johnny? Am I going to be competing with a 30-year veteran? Just want to know that stuff. When? Who qualifies? Okay, what marketing tools are they doing? Okay, we're going to bring all our ads. I'm going to go through some of that today. Here's our ads. Here's our CMAs. Here's our books. Here's our binders. Okay, CM. Okay, we go through all that stuff. Okay, we got to remember that we're going to meet a friend. This is number 1 listing presentation. Interview questions for me, and we can kind of get that out of the way. Why? It's very intimidating, for one, when you come in and just ask that, right off the bat. Again, it's a personality trait if you feel they're a dominant one or a statistical or analytical or a passive or whatever the things are. How do you want to approach your listing presentation? Sometimes we just got to sit back down and just say, listen, you're from the East Coast, I'm from the East Coast, you're from the West Coast, I'm from the East. Do you think we can get along? Are you a Dodger fan? Geez, I'm a Red Sox fan. I can't stand each other. Do you think that's going to get in the way? Right? I mean, fun stuff like that. We have to do that stuff, right? We're going to dress up, show up, act all the stuff that we all talk about. Be consistent during our interview, our presentation. We're aggressive. We have to be the leader. When we're in front of these clients, whether we sit right down at the table, okay, again, there's going to be a few different slides in here that that are kind of old fashioned, traditional way where I like to just go right to the kitchen table. You told me everything about your house. I know you got a pool, big deal. Okay. I know you got this. I know you got that. Okay. And I know all that. We're going to go through the house later because if I don't like you, then I don't want to go see your house because I don't think we're going to work together. Okay. Again, there's 5 different philosophies going through this, or 500, where we walk right in. Can I give you a tour? What are you going to do? Say no? Okay. Depending on how you want to handle it. Typically you go through and say, yeah, I'd love to go by and give me some of your upgrades we talked about. Perfect. That's our key. Other times you'll walk in, they'll just say, do you want to see the house? I said, let's just sit down and talk a little bit before we go around and give us a tour. Because then I go through all my stuff, then we go through the tour later. It's just a different preference on it. Okay, no hassle. You have to convince them you have great marketing. We'll go through this. Okay, we're not really there to like hang out, okay, but sometimes we have to. Okay, and one of my slides in there, this is the one I said, we go right to the table, sit. I don't want to view the home. Okay, don't go sitting around. But again, hey, let me give you a quick tour. I want to show you the things. I'd love that. Okay, then we kind of flow with it. Otherwise, I go in for the business trip. I'm there to just tell you about what we're going to do. Building a rapport. Okay, this is huge. Huge number. They could care less about any of the marketing stuff, but they have to have that likability side. Like, I like you, Lindsay. I think we can get, I can walk into the house and say, everything you told me is right. You did some great jobs in here. I definitely think I can get this done. Now I'm reassuring them this whole time as you're giving me the tour, beautiful, this is going to sell itself. I can definitely get this out there. I can definitely get this on the web. This is really going to be going. So during the whole walkthrough portion of your presentation, we're selling the fact that we can definitely get this done. Yeah, this is nice. This shows really well. This is going to look good in my marketing piece. I could probably have that. This is, you know what I mean? So we're constantly assuring them of this job that we're going to do. It can take 5 minutes. I've been in interviews, walk in there and they're like, let's do this. Okay. Hey, I love it. You told me everything over the phone. Good. How much am I paying? Okay, good. You think I can get 250 for 490? Good. Let's go. Or the other ones, they need to be kind of cultured a lot. Yep.
Kevin, I have 2 possible listings across the street from 935 Huntington, but when I went there, they all have kids and they're like overwhelmed. The kids, they both have dogs and kids. When do you think is a good time to go by there again? I don't even know.
Anytime
Like,
they'll
you
let
see
you
the
in.
point of my question is like, it's
No.
a stupid question, but it's like,
No, it's not.
it's like,
When
you
you
know,
go by, when it's convenient for them.
but when is it gonna become, they all have little kids. They're always gonna be like, I have to go by there and drop off a count for both
We'll
of
go
them.
by and through it. We'll show you some of the stuff as we go through. Okay. Ask them, find the motivation. This is really the key. What's their
Yeah.
motivation?
Yeah.
Okay. Get the emotional benefit for the move. Why are they doing? These are the things we're just kind of listening to. I'm upgrading. We need to upgrade. So if we need to upgrade and I need to sell this, our goal is now to find them exactly what they're looking for. And then their motivation will be pushed to the sale. If they don't have anything to look for or move into, they're really not motivated. And it's a tough job because now you're going to get action on the house. You may get contracts on the house and they can't sell because they can't find. So we have to just kind of walk that tight walk. Again, that's a different beast
So
altogether.
find them the house first is better, right? Then
Because now that, yeah, we can move the product.
we
Okay,
can
I can
list it.
sell easily. Whether I take a $40,000 loss to get exactly what I want all day long. But I can't sell. Now where am I going? Mentality. Okay, so again, that's part of your presentation. Sell yourself, ads, what we're doing, website, introducing that feedback, dissatisfied with agent performance. This is where we run into a lot of problem. Okay, a lot of the agents in the town, they don't offer a lot of support. They don't offer a lot of marketing material. They don't offer value when they walk into their listing presentation. Why are they dissatisfied, do you think? What do you think the number one reason is people get dissatisfied with their agents?
They can't reach them.
Can't reach them. That's a big one. How about us having to call an agent for a listing appointment for a showing and you can't get it back? I mean, that's what you just paid for. Okay, so you're paying that. I want to go see your house. I want to see you at 2 o'clock. They don't get back to you till 4 o'clock the next day. Okay, that's number one, communication. Number two is the process. What to expect when you're expecting type of stuff, the expectations. So all of our presentation in our books and our stuff is, here it is. The number one reason is money. They all get upset when they see the smoke clear come the signing, because they don't show them the net sheet or any of that type of stuff until the very, 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 very end, because they just think they're paying the 6%.
Mhm.
And now all of a sudden I got 2.5% of my own costs. Wait a minute. And now, I know I was paying some of the buyer's costs. And wait a minute, now I'm up to 10, 11, 12% here. Big difference. Okay, so a lot of that stuff we kind of handle right away. We're the expert. Okay, we do now do that staging through that system we do. We're going to go through a little bit of that. Listen, we can work hard. Some of us, guess how many listings I have right now, Mr. Seller? I don't have any. You're my listing appointment. Don't be afraid to tell them, I don't have any inventory right now. How hard am I going to work at this? Okay.
Can I ask you something, Kevin? This is the problem I have. Every time I talk to someone, like this girlfriend of mine, great girlfriend, she called me the other day. She's like, hi, I was wondering how much is my home worth? And I said, that's great. I said, are you thinking about selling it? She said, yes. I said, okay, are you working with a realtor? Thank God, before I do all the job, I learned my lesson to ask, are you working with a realtor? She said, yeah, I have a friend who's a realtor and I'm gonna work with her. And I said, well, then you need to ask her how much
What's
is
the
your
difference?
home.
Are you going for a listing presentation? How much does it cost?
No, but she didn't want me to come for a listing. She's already
Well,
dealing
then
with her,
hang on.
but she doesn't trust her.
Well,
But
then
she
you go to a
calls
different
me.
one. Give me a break. Close the listing. Get me the listing appointment. If she's calling you for no reason, then she's
Yeah.
calling you for no reason.
Yeah.
Move on. Can I
Right,
come and
she
do a
wants to
listing
approve
presentation?
that the other one knows how to do her job right
Job,
by
yeah.
checking in with me.
Good enough. So if she doesn't want to work with you, go to someone else.
Mhm.
Go on to the next one. Make
Yeah.
sure you're choosing your price. Guess who chooses it?
The
Seller.
Mhm.
Seller chooses the price. We just
Oh,
give them all the
yes.
data.
Oh, yes.
What do you
Oh.
think it's worth? What do you think it's worth? What do you think it's worth?
I didn't finish the point of the story. My point of the story is everybody's asking me, how many homes have you sold?
Oh,
And this is when they all seem like they're ready to do something with me, but then they ask me, how many homes have you sold? And as soon as I tell them, well, 0, because, I just started, they go like, oh,
Over 2,500.
okay, so I can say whatever I want?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to lie and get in trouble.
No. That's how many I've sold because they list with me.
Oh, okay.
oh.
Okay, thank you.
Oh,
Oh, I wish you
oh.
would have told me that from the beginning.
If they got a problem, I'll go
Oh,
meet
I
with
was
them.
how
gonna
much
say
business I
that's-
feel like I lost because, I'm so honest. I don't want to lie.
That's how many we've sold. We know what we're doing. 20 years
Yeah,
experience.
The company is
We know
sold,
what we're
yeah.
doing.
Over 25,000?
We know what we're doing.
Did you say over
Okay.
25,000?
I don't know. We'll look it up. 20 years experience. That's usually what I say. I've been doing this for 20 years. You
Okay.
know what? I know what we're dealing with.
Are you gonna go over, are you gonna go over someone asking, what to say to, when you say, you go in and you like the house, only when you don't like the house, when the house is a mess, when the
Mhm.
house is ridiculous.
That's when we're going to sit down at our
presentation.
presentation. We're going to walk through and we're going to make our notes.
Yeah.
And for sure, yeah, we're going to get to that as well, for sure. This is just kind of our prepared for your objections and price commission. We're going to go all that. Hey, do you like my marketing? Do you think we're a good company? You want to list? These are just kind of our objection section of it. Why are we going to list? What's your motivation? Show the time. Time is money. Okay, there is some danger in overpricing. And you can bring some of that data
Yes.
when you go to your listing presentation. The data that we can show is why is it so dangerous when your buyers that you're dealing with ask you that question? Geez, it's been on the market for 3 months.
Mhm.
What's wrong with it? What's wrong with it? And a lot of the guys will take these
Yes,
3 months listings, go in there and woo them. How do I get my listing presentation done? Because I told you I'm going to get you 400,000 for the house. It's worth 375, 360, maybe. But I went in there to get it because now I got the listing. I can always come down, okay, if it's reasonable. 2, I'm getting a lot of inventory or phone calls from my marketing plan. And 3, the guy won't sell the thing and now they're frustrated the whole time. So when they're getting miffed over now 30, 60, 90 days and still don't have a contract, guess what? They had to pay 90 days worth of expenses, okay, at $2,000 a month. So there's your 2, your 4, your 6, your $8,000 that it costs to live here. And now you wanted to argue me over my half a point down the road. Right. So that, again, those are objections. That's a whole different class when we get through that. So this was just kind of my little, my spiel up there for that. I'm going to go through our listing presentation book here that I have. We'll get that.
And we get all this in mail because I would like to review this a couple of times just because it's good for the brain to
Yeah, you can have that for sure.
please.
And I'll just show you my listing presentation book. So when we're getting ready to go together on a listing presentation, for instance, let me see if I can get this back up here. There you go, Jeff. Hopefully you can see us back on here.
It's free.
So,
Oh, no, no, it's free.
so we go on our listing presentation. Okay, we make these binding books here. Okay, we do them real fancy. Okay, you have a little binder here. So let's say they're not home. You want to go and meet them for the first time. They're an expired listing. They're for sale by owner. They're a potential listing, an old expired from 6, 8, 12 months ago, or they're a neighbor that came by your open house. You can do a nice brochure. This is just kind of a little simple
we do
gimmicky
that?
one.
We do that in the office here.
Mhm.
Wow, I didn't know that. Nobody told me. Sorry.
So our presentation, you coming?
Hey,
Coming in?
Gary's here.
No, I got phone calls to make.
I'm gonna make two
Oh,
of those.
well, come
Is
in.
that okay?
Yeah, you can't stand in the door though.
You see what I see right there?
You can sit right in the hand seat.
Sit right there.
Got one doing infected feet.
Affected people.
So we're going out, you can drop these off. I don't, if it's a notice of default, for instance. Okay, let's say you want to give them some advice. You can make these packets for your notice of default people, your trustee sale people. You can make it however you want the information. We go on to the list report that we have. There's a million different things there that all you do is just put in their address, click it. You can do a postcard campaign. You could, I mean, literally there is 50, 80 things for us to use in this tool. We did, Carrie's going to do the class on Thursday, I believe, for that. So I'm not going to get involved in that. But our presentations are day one presentation. You can do a full CMA on it. Okay, it's very simple on our MLS. We've all done those on there. You can do the full 64-page detail report, or you can do a little generic one, kind of cut them all out. They're there. They've been there 100 years. Okay. Not bad to go over maybe the day before. I know I'll be here tomorrow at 2 o'clock to meet you, but I just wanted to give you some reading material. Look forward to seeing you tomorrow. So now they have all this data. Okay, whatever it is. I just did little simple comps. You can have a nice picture of the front of the house. That's kind of the excuse to go by there a day or two before. Now you have an updated photo of the house. If we're going to do this presentation, let's do it, right? You got one shot. Let's just do it right. Go and make a nice brochure so you can put up the list hub reports as you've seen. Okay, we've all seen the reports through the list hub. It gives us all that simple data. Okay. Also, you'll bind in there most recent sales, okay, of what's going on in the neighborhood. They know what's going on. Hopefully, maybe they do, maybe they don't, but we definitely need to know. Why did that one go for this? What did that go for that? Was there a capital or was a closing cost contribution towards the closing cost? That's a big number now. You're seeing some of that stuff, $4, $5, $8, $10,000. It's a big swing when you're doing pen to paper, because we're really grinding over typically 1% in our listing presentations, a 6 to a 5. That's what we do. That's our fight typically. And in our market right now, it's $3,500. If I can't make you $3,500 to fight for my commitment, I don't want the job. Then I shouldn't be working for you. Okay. So here's our little listing presentation book that I use when I go onto some of my listing presentations. Again, sometimes we have to go through the procedure showing up what we're going to do. Okay, what's in it for me? Why are you guys going to take this money from me? That's what they're taking. Mr. For sale by owner, expired, brand new listing, neighbor, friend. I'm thinking about selling in the future. Okay, we show them. Mine is, and again, we don't have to spend too much time on it. You can look through it after. Just an appreciation map of Las Vegas. Okay, how things are appreciating. We know everything is going through the roof. Okay, I get to see all the activity when people are emailing on our MLS. Who's been looking at our property, right? The back end stuff. It's just good fluff. We send out our flyers to the entire MLS system. Okay, here's a beautiful brochure on it. Here's a company we use, Virtuance. We're all familiar with Virtuance. Okay, they're not familiar with Virtuance. It's a professional company that comes out there and takes just incredible pictures for it. You can actually put your past Virtuance pictures in here and show them what they actually look like. Like I'm going to start stealing some of Kathy's and put them in here for the staging and not staging. This is some of our options. I think we can stage this. Okay, it is a vacant house. It looks pretty neat. If you guys sign us with it today, I'll probably call Kevin and see if we can get the virtual staging done for you. Okay. They show the stats again from Virtuance. When it's good pictures, we're not going in there to take cell phone, iPhone 6 pictures. Okay, I don't care if it's iPhone 12 pictures. Okay, we're not doing that with toilet seats and people's arms in the mirrors and things like that. Mr. Seller, you've seen that, right? The dark photos that don't. I mean, what's going to sell this house? Okay, this curb appeal, the lighting, all the things we just just spoke
Yeah.
about at your table is what we're going to try and capture here. So we spend a lot of money on our marketing, Mr. Seller. So I want you to get the best pictures there is. I had our camera crew, takes a few days for notice to get over here. So if we do get you on a contract this week, we'll probably go live on Friday or Saturday, just so I have enough time to put together all this marketing. Because when I go, boom, I go. We're going to put you
Yeah.
out there.
When I brought your binder, I would say that was the most that they were interested in, is like the virtuals and like the photos and like the flyers and the marketing stuff. The numbers
Sure.
they didn't really. care
Again, that's
about.
for them. So then we'll
Yeah.
sit there and we'll talk about it. Feel
Yeah.
this. I just
So
want you to
they
feel
were,
that.
they were
Isn't
like,
that
oh,
nice?
that's nice.
So you, everybody has a
Yeah.
binder like this?
No, I
No,
brought
that's
his.
just-
Oh,
Yeah.
we can borrow yours? Oh, that's awesome.
So you're right. So when this is my
Yeah.
old fashioned way of doing it, because I'm still a touchy feely. I need to see some of the stuff that I'm pushing here. So I want to sell vacuums. You're bringing in a vacuum, right? You can touch it, you can try it, you can do. I want them to see it. You know what I mean? Like, look at these pictures. These are beautiful pictures. We do these trifolds for you. When people come to my open house, I'll have them all set up. So this takes time. It takes a lot of money. Takes a
Yeah.
lot of effort,
They
and that's what
sounded-
we have to pitch.
Sorry, they
Yeah.
sounded like relieved that I wasn't taking my own photos, and I was like, "That's sad. Like, is that what people think? Is that like as agents we just take our own photos?"
Well,
100%.
some do.
It costs a lot of money for this
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, and a lot of
Absolutely.
companies don't pay for it.
Yeah.
This company is wonderful as far
We
as
pay
that's
for it
concerned.
because we want an even
Yeah.
playing field for you.
Mhm.
That's what I'm saying. In any other company you go to, it's, hey, he just makes more money right now. So you guys could be
Mm.
competing for the same listing in the same company at the same house.
Mhm,
And it's happened. We used to go on the Prudential ones and be like
Oh,
three
yeah.
Prudential agents in there. And how's it Prudential?
mhm,
Like, here you go. Well, our marketing plan was better. How could one be better? Well, we had more money. And when I started my own company, I said, it's not going to be fair that you have more money and you can't get the job done. So that's why we say, we'll pay for all this stuff. You all have a clean, even slate. Here's your marketing plan. It's this deep, pretty good. If you want to add to it, go ahead. But you have a pretty good base to start with. With one, you're right, that virtual, you bring that virtual tour company in there. It's pro stuff.
yeah.
And then our Facebook campaigns, we've been advertising a lot in California lately. I don't know if you guys are familiar with California, but they're all moving to Vegas. Okay. So we do touch them quite a bit. And here's our stats for them. We can actually isolate it down to counties that we can actually direct right to the county that we want to target. Okay? If it's a Burbank or wherever we want to go. Okay. We're on Craigslist. We're on the Zillows. We're on the Realtor.coms. We're on you name it. We're on all those little Redfins. We're on all these Zillow. Okay, we have all that stuff. Okay? We're gonna be there. If you're worried about exposure, don't worry about it. You're gonna see it. You're gonna be able to see the hit counts. You're gonna be able to see people following, how many people saved you on there. Okay, so we look at Zillow, and Zillow's terribly inaccurate. We all can agree on it. Sometimes it helps us in a listing presentation. Sometimes it kills us. This house says it's worth 375, but it's really only worth 300. Well, Zillow said. Okay, and we'll get to that later. Okay. Our postcard campaign, we do nice postcards. Our IDX, I like to show them what it looks like on other people's websites because they're going to be able to take it, all of our stuff. I don't care. I want everybody to use this stuff and get it out to the world. So you're going to be in front of 1 million people in 5 minutes as soon as I go back and hit send. Okay, you're going to go up to 18,000 real estate agents. We all use the same database, by the way. Okay, all of us real estate agents, Mr. Seller, we all use the same one website that it goes to. So there's no secret where it's going to sell. Where do all of our properties sell? Through the MLS, right? They just do. That's where we're going to get most of our sales. But it's also our job is to go out there and give you as much exposure to your client, to your client, to your client that may not be on MLS, at least have the opportunity to find it, then go find their agent, then come to us. Okay, so that's some of the stuff we offer. Okay, here's all of our campaigns. I show in the MLS sheets what the public gets to see. So this is an MLS sheet just from what we send out to our clients. What your client get to look at. I'll give it to them. So I'm going to send you one. I want you to change it. Add something in this description. You tell me what it is. I'm not the creative writer that you may want me to be. We all just say beautiful, open floor plan, airy, backyard, large, mature landscape, recessed lighting, custom paint. Well, you can put all that, but maybe it doesn't hit them warm and fuzzy. Okay? Maybe
Yeah.
you can make your changes like, oh yeah, no, I want side yard, corner lot, RV parking. I want, good, let's do it. I love it. Let's help them. Okay, I print out all these brochures. I make the flyers for our box that we put out front. I'll put up a sign that has our phone number on there. So everybody, we're going to be super accessible. Okay, if you run out of flyers, give me a call. I'll give you an extra 25 or 30 we can put in your house. When you run through that one, let me know. I'll come over and give you the ones back inside. Why? Because kids come by and take them all out.
Mhm.
One guy that wants to buy the house usually goes in there, takes them all, and then comes back. I mean, there's a million and one ways. Also, Mr. Seller, we're gonna put a home warranty on the house. You don't currently have one. So I want you to take a minute to review this. I'll leave you kind of our brochure with the seller coverages. Why is that important? Because we're gonna get an inspection done once we get the contract. Sometimes the items that they're looking at are broken or are covered under this home warranty. So that will be a little deductible for you instead of having to spend $5, $6, $8, $10 or $100, maybe covered. Okay, so
How
we'll
much
look
is
at
the
that.
deductible usually?
75.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, $75 deductible. Okay, the types of loans we're gonna be looking at when we actually do our listing presentation and I get an offer. Okay, there's gonna be the FHA conventional, depending on what our price point is. Okay, in this particular case, Mr. Seller, you're in 400, we're gonna qualify for every kind of financing. Okay, we'll get into that here in a minute. The pre-qual letters that we get on offers, this is where we start making our money, Mr. Seller. Okay, I want you to know where our value comes in. We're gonna get some offers on the house. Okay, we just know that. Why? Because I've been doing this for a very long time. We're gonna get action on the house, whether it be one or it be 15. We're gonna get action on the house. Okay, where does our value come in? Our value come in now is now we have to separate the good, the bad, and the indifferent. It's just like a rental market right now. You might get 50 applications in on a rental. I have to go through all the credit apps now and look what's here, what's there, so now I look at all these offers and I get these pre-qual letters that come in that were like typed on a Rico at home. They're not good. Okay, so what we do is we verify with the lender who actually wrote this pre-approval letter, what their condition is, what their current job status is. Listen, we're in an interesting time. How long have they been back at work? How solid are they? That's where our value is, where a lot of agents don't go to work and do this back end stuff because it's going to save us opposed to 27, 30 days from now. And now all of a sudden Johnny doesn't qualify because of this, or this. Okay, we didn't do our job. Okay, that's where we're going to really start earning our money. Our open house signs, we do all this stuff. You guys mind if we do open houses here by any chance? If you don't, we'll probably be here at least once a week till we get this thing sold. All my agents in my office will probably be over here trying to get this thing done. If there's any issue with that, just let me know for any health or safety issues. I like to show them the detail sheet. This is what we get about the financing and the gate codes. This is why we can't give it out, because it has that personal information side to it. But again, I just want them to see what agents get to see. What do they always look at? They like to look at a co-op. They look at appointment only, appointment agent. We want to be convenience, okay? We want this to be a nice, easy showing. I don't want to have to call the agent who doesn't have this. That's important. You need to interview when you're asking Mr. Seller, is your agent full-time? That's a big deal. Because if I'm at my job from 8 to 5, I can't handle calls, emails, text messages. I can't come over here and work for you. Okay, I'm full-time. This is what I do. Okay, again, I went back to my loans. There's 3 different financing options. Okay, when we come into receiving our offer, obviously cash is one of them. It's not really a financing option. Okay, we're gonna have the FHA, the VA, and a conventional loan. And we're gonna present you a net sheet, which I have right here. It's gonna show you the estimated closing costs from every one of those programs. Okay, so this is what that looks like. I have one here in my book for my listing presentation or my contract. I'll show you. But you told me you owed 300,000 on the house, but this is how much you're gonna make.
Yeah.
Okay, and this is gonna change. Why is it gonna change? Because we may get a VA that has closing costs. We may get a 295 offer. We may get a 299. We may get a 310. So whatever comes in, if I get 3 offers, I'm gonna do 3 different sheets to show you. Here, and here.
Depends on when you close.
Yeah.
On what day we close. I mean, we're gonna get this thing dialed in typically within about $500. Then I'm gonna add another 500 to make me look even better when we close. And that's the truth. I'm gonna put a lockbox on the house, okay, to make sure that the people that are coming and going, if that's okay with you, for follow-up. I know you're home full-time, you only wanna do you only. But if you don't mind, we won't even put a key in there. If that's a safety issue for you, you want to be here for everyone, great. Or if you're vacant or whatever the showing instruction is, we really want to push lockbox, okay, for just flat out safety reasons. Okay, there's a lot of scams going on today. I'm sure some of these agents that you've interviewed already told you about it. No, they didn't tell me. Well, our concern is you, really. I mean, let's be real here. We want to make sure that you're safe. Nobody's coming in here and now going to be a squatter, okay? So this gives us the access to all the agents that come in. As soon as I get a notification, as soon as they open this lockbox, I get the notification. I get to call them up in 15, 20 minutes while it's still fresh in their mind. Hi, Susie, you just showed Elizabeth over there. Want to know what you think. and you give me some feedback while it's still fresh in your mind. They're still out showing. I just want to know. And we get them all the time. I'm sure when you guys go show your houses, how quickly it takes 2 seconds. Why wouldn't you? I had a call from my seller this morning. How was the showing? Good. I just texted him last night, got the response back. I copy and paste it to him.
Yeah.
And just show it. Showed great. Yeah, it should be a problem. We're an investor. We may be hearing from you soon. Whoa, right? This is the benefit of it. And that's our lockbox stuff. Again, our Facebook stuff that we do. Again, I like to break these cards out. This is one of Kathy's that she's done on one of her properties. And what do these cost, Kathy?
Oh, gosh, they're not very expensive, really. I think I got 50 for $35.
So these are really nice. Okay, you can see that online there. Okay, they're I don't know what you call these, bifold, or they have a few different options. The trifold, the bifold, you can do all this stuff. So this is the stuff that they get, the touchy-feely stuff. And that's just my notebook.
Where do you
somewhere.
order those from?
This is part of the,
Uh, First American title.
Oh, yeah, okay.
it is, it's
Yeah.
part of the
They have a lot
10
of
cent.
Yeah.
They have a ton of these.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you can make this type of listing presentation folders, and you can just make them generic. I mean, if you want to go out and say, thought about selling, I have buyers that are interested in your area, please call me today type of postcard. You can
Mhm.
make 200 of them
Yeah.
for like $30.
Yeah.
And they're just generic. So if you're at an open house, you just go up, slip them in the door. They work anywhere.
Right.
Hey, we
Yeah.
just sold a home in your area. If you're interested in selling, please give me a call. Anywhere you go, that's relative to the public, not just area specific. Okay, so anytime, you're right, Lindsay, when you go through your listing presentation like this, and they're hung up on something, but I might spend a little extra time on that. Oh, you're really interested in print advertising, are you? Okay, yeah, well, then we're gonna do a little bit more of this. This might be a 2-3 week process right here, because we're gonna start out with this process. We're gonna do this. Your pictures are gonna be done right away. We're gonna get the open house here in a few weeks. We're gonna get our postcard campaign out. We're gonna do our flyers, our brochures will be out here, and the sign will be up by the end of the week. Okay, so this is our process of it. Leaving them with the contract. Obviously, we go through our contract and explain our contract. Again, that's a little different from a listing presentation standpoint. But the most important things that they're looking for is time. What do you think my time is?
Mhm.
And I said, well, here's our MLS sheet saying, here's the last 15 that have sold. 22, 36, 64, 22, 42, 18, 9, 6, 4, 2, 9, whatever the days are. That's what we can expect. And wow, that's what we can expect. And so the dangers of overpricing, this is why this one stayed on the market too long. And now they had to pay an extra 2, 3, 4 months worth of mortgage. Now we go into escrow. Now we got to wait another month or so. Hopefully it comes through. Hopefully it appraises. Hopefully the inspection doesn't come back with some issues. And now we're talking about another 6, 8, 10,000 bucks. Let's just price it correctly, move on. And that's some of the conversation people have. They want to know about their money. That's the most important thing. So I'll bring an RPA as well. I'll spend a little time on an offer, on a purchase agreement, going over it. That's the one you can drop off the day before too. So here's some comps. Here's what we're kind of our marketing get together. And I put a purchase agreement in there for you guys to review as well. You can just highlight all the areas on a purchase agreement, like make a mock offer.
Mhm.
And it's kind of neat. So now when we send it to them, they're not going to be looking at something that just looks like piglet, right? Because let's face it,
Yeah.
how long did it take us to get comfortable looking at a contract, not understanding it, right? So we're probably still trying to get
Yeah,
through it. some
it
of us, right?
changes.
It just changes, and there's some things in there, right? So I mean, look at what we just did. We went through our pre-listing presentation. I asked a whole bunch of questions beforehand. I knew all the data going in. I knew all their wows, all their hot points, all their motivation. Here's all the stats. Here's all my marketing. We're a pro. Like, this is a pretty good, like, get me in a living room, right? I mean, I think we have a pretty darn good shot at getting something done. Our challenge is we just don't do enough. We've done 1, we've done 50, we've done 3, we've done 2 or 3, right? But our failure is okay. Okay, it's okay. The fact that we don't do it, all right, well, then how do we get better at it? Just like anything. We work with buyers because buyers are just really at our mercy almost, right? I mean, they're kind of going off your word. Hey, I trust you. I trust. But if we were to get convinced, that same convincing professional side of a buyer's presentation into your listing presentation, even if you did half of that half, let's say you did 6 listings this year, that's pretty darn good. It's an extra 40, 50,000 bucks that anybody would be okay with. But how many listing appointments does it take to get one? How many phone calls did it take to get to the listing appointment? Okay, so our goal, even with your friend that doesn't want to list or doesn't know how to, I don't care if it's your friend that you just want to go and do your presentation on. Just say, hey, do you own your house? Can I come by and do a little presentation for you? Go and do it. Okay, so I mean, because what do we got? I mean, let's say you did that 15 times this year. But now they know, like, holy smokes, Lindsay, you know what you're doing. Yeah, man, when they're talking about something, now they're going to refer you over that. So there's a lot of benefit to going to role play on your friends or family or neighbor. Just like, give me an honest run here. And it's funny because you'll start doing it. They're like, holy smokes, is this really what my house is worth? Maybe we will sell.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
and what do we hear all the time is doom and gloom. Like, oh my gosh, the market's going to crash. Should I get out? Should I get out? Should I get out? Should I get out? I don't know, but I can tell you what your house is worth and how much you're going to get. That's up to you. Can I give you a little presentation tomorrow at like 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock? Perfect.
Yeah.
Go through your presentation. And it's just the repetitive side of it. If we've only done 3 or 4 listing presentations in our life, it's not a lot. You know, we should try and get 2 or 3 a month,
Yeah.
right? Where? I just showed you where. I mean, we're just not doing enough of it to get into an appointment. These FSBOs, I just want to go by and take a look. The expires from 6, 8, 12 months. People are getting them. Cold calling. Where are these listings coming from? Where are they coming from? Okay, you look at, I can go back and do, it's a part of our marketing and listing class, or the CMA class, is I look back at some of your sales. Let's say we go back, Dave, and look at one of your sales in February of this year. We take one of your sales that you did, and we'll look in that subdivision from now till back and when you close that in February. I guarantee you one of the listings that your sales that you had, there's got to be 10 or 12 new listings that came up in that area. Guarantee it.
Mhm.
We just did the job as buyers. If that's what we're going to do, 75% of my business is buyers, which is fine. I don't mind it. But now you have to benefit from it. Look what I did. I brought buyers. Okay, there's some value there. And I flip on the flip side. Look what I did. I sold the house. I told you I was going to get it on the market. I told you I was going to get, right? So we're both good. I just want to use our buyer side as leverage to sellers so I can get into this presentation. I have interested buyers in your neighborhood. That's the generic business or the postcard. Make 2, 3, 4, 500 of them. Every time you do a sale, you drop off 50 or 100 in the neighborhood around you. I just sold the house over there. I have buyers interested in your neighborhood. Call me for an appointment. That's it. That's as generic as it gets. You can put that in North Las Vegas. You can put it in Henderson. You can put it in Pahrump. I don't care where you put it, but it's just there. We bought a house in your neighborhood. I sold it. Or we. I have buyers interested in your neighborhood. If you've ever considered selling, call me for over the phone consultation or a Zoom consultation. They used to be the best one. Hi, I'm interested. Well, that's great. Tell me a little bit about the house. Good. What's the address? Perfect. Yeah, let me do some research here and I'll tell you what, I'll get back to you. Boom, I do my book. I go and drop it off. And I call them a day later. Hey, did you get my package I dropped off? Cool, I'd like to come by and take a look at it. Hey, you just did all the work, right? We did all the buyer work. Let's try and get 1 or 2 sellers. Remember, we're trying to get 5 or 6 extra deals a year. If you're doing 10 or 15 sales, we should be pulling 1 or 2 listings in that neighborhood, at least. And this is our kind of our presentation in here. We have a nice book of business to be able to show. The fact is we don't have enough people to practice on, if that makes sense. We need more people to give our presentation to. And like you said, your friend and everybody's on the fence and I'm going to go back up and down and that was a great time. Well, good. Now you got one on the hook. Now we're on to the next one. Now you're on to the next one. When's the next one? Hey, do you know anybody in your neighborhood that might want to sell? Do you know anybody else that's thinking about selling? I guarantee you, when you start looking at your past sales, what happened in that neighborhood? Just go back and look at something 6, 8, 9 months ago. And that's what happens. Everything around it just got listed and sold, listed and sold, listed and sold. It make you sick. Say, God, how many did I want? I just wanted 1. I want 1. I don't want all 9 or 12 or 15. Right? I just want 1 extra one. And that's how we get them, by going out and promoting the fact that, hey, I did the job and I have more just like it. We closed in 30 days or less. I have more buyers ready to go. Call me today for an interview. Free comp, over the phone consultation. You know, make it easy, convenient, simple stuff. Then we can go and do our listing presentation. Okay, so you guys can take this book and use it. You can add your own stuff. I know Kathy takes it sometimes and puts her own personal stuff in there and makes it it's good. However you want to use it. You can make your own. You can make your own, scan it and do a like an Excel thing like I just did. Some people like it on the laptop. Bring your laptop over and do that kind of slideshow. It's your choice. If you go through the list reports like Carrie's gonna do Thursday, there's a million things. Again, sometimes there's so many that we don't do any of them, or we do a lot of them, kinda. Just stick with like 4 or 5 types of pitches. If you're gonna do a postcard campaign, or you're gonna do a flyer campaign, or you're gonna do one of the 19 or 50 things that they have on there, just do a couple of them and do them really, really, really well, opposed to doing all of them kind of mediocre. Okay? Any questions with our listing book?
Where is this listing book usually hang out?
On my
Well, you
desk.
can make your own too, and,
Totally make your own.
you know,
Yeah.
put a lot of things in it that I carry a lot of extra
That's
things.
what I
Mhm.
thought.
Because I try to listen to the client, and then like, say the duties owed. I've run into some times when, you know, I can tell they're kind of, well, what are you gonna do? What do you do? And I bring that out, and it just really sets a good tone. That
That's a
duties
great
owed
point.
is, yeah.
You can spend a whole presentation on the duties
Mhm.
owed. And again, it's what you're gonna have to read from your client or your customer that you're
Exactly.
walking in. Are they gonna look, what they need to feel is some trust and some assurance that you're gonna get this done.
Yeah.
Right? And just say,
Yeah.
my company's been doing this a long time. My broker, if he was able to, he might be coming over here later today. If not, after we get it done, I'll send him over so you can meet him. Like, we've been doing this a long time. Let's say you get a listing, call me up and just say, hey, well, I took the listing, my seller wants to meet with you. I'd love to go by and just say hi, for sure. Just go, nice to meet you. Hey, thanks for signing up with the company. Lindsay's gonna be great for you. If you have any questions along the way, I'm sure she went through all the numbers. Fabulous. They just need that reassurance,
Mhm.
with the assurance that this is gonna get done. Are there gonna be hiccups? Sure. Okay, but that's where our pro comes in. Are they gonna have some finance? Are there gonna be an inspection? When the inspection comes back, bring an inspection report. Add that to your listing presentation. This is what's gonna happen. And I always say it, and as I'm talking about it now, I'm gonna incorporate one. Just incorporate the summary page, incorporate an appraisal. That's what an appraisal looks like. Okay, when we come in and now we have to complain that it didn't come in, or it came in at numbers. Like, I just want you to be educated. That might be the stat guide. Maybe you add an appraisal, just a page 1 of the appraisal in your book. Pretty strong. Your inspection report. This is where we start making our money. Okay, this is where negotiating skill 101, and Johnny Discount that just came in here and just did it, flew out, took an overpriced, undervalued listing, isn't gonna come here and negotiate. What they're gonna do is call you up and say, yep, Kathy, we got an offer, I'd take it.
Mhm.
Well, it's 25 below. Yeah, it's pretty strong though. Oh, okay, well, okay, if you think that'll be it, okay. Well, inspection came in, they want $5,000. Well, I don't wanna fix it. Well, you don't have to fix it, we'll just give them a credit towards it. Oh, you think that? Yeah, I would. Because their volume, they're into the next, they're only making $1,500, they're on to the next guy.
Yeah.
Or we could have saved them about 25, 30
Yeah,
grand
exactly.
by doing it right. Weaning out the chat, separating that stuff. Say, no, here's the value, here's the con, this is what I think we'll get. If it doesn't appraise, we'll renegotiate. That's a whole new contract when that happens. Here's our stuff. So these are just fun things to add to your book. I guess the upside and the downside is we need to do more of them. That's the upside. We need to do more. The downside is until you go and start getting rejected or lose one, that's a good problem to have.
Mhm.
It's a good problem. And I can tell you that a lot of the times we go on these appointments, we don't lose a lot. We get more than we lose. We just do. We just do.
Yeah.
At least with the stuff that the agents that I know that go out in the appointments, they get them by appointment, by referral, by recommendation, having some nice testimonials from your
Mhm.
past clients. You know,
Yeah.
I mean, you
That's
should
another good
definitely be
thing,
getting
yeah.
that stuff
Yeah,
in.
that's
And
another
that's just
thing, yeah.
the strength of it. They
Mhm.
want to be able to just say, hey, geez, boy, you've done pretty good. You've done pretty good. Those were last. I'm only as good as my next deal. That's the unfortunate part of our business. I'm only as good as the next contract I bring. Great. Do they care about what I did for you and you and you? I sold all there in under 30 days, above value and no cost. Do they care about that? No, they care about their asset. What are you going to do for me? Okay, but we can use that as fluff to get there. But realistically, they don't care about that stuff. Right. You did it. You got lucky. I got lucky 35 times this month. I'd like to get lucky 36. Our company did pretty good. We're doing really good. We're getting here. If we price it right, conditions in a great place. And you brought up the point, Dave, is how do you tell them that the house stinks? When we go through and we take down our notes, I got all my highlights, washer, dryer, that's staying good. Carpets, okay, they need to be cleaned or tore up. Paint in the bathroom needs to be this and that. Blinds need to just be taken down or replaced. Backyard has a bomb that needs to be there.
So those are all tangible stuff, like you
Yeah.
can kind of see it, like a stove is burnt, so you
Mhm.
need to, what about like stuff like smell? And, you know, and smell like, I mean, I'm a dog person, but some people are dog people and they just, it's out of hand,
Yeah.
you know, it's out of
Yeah.
hand, and so, you know, I love pets, I would never say, hey, you know, can you go do something with the pets, but also, hey, you got 3, you know, 100-pound dogs, you
Mhm.
know, that are,
Living
that
in
are
the
just, yeah, they
house.
live in the house all the time.
Do you think this is gonna hinder the sale? My question.
To like that.
Do you think this will hinder the sale?
Right. You think,
With
okay,
having with the dogs here. So when we have showings, what do you plan on doing with the dogs?
right, stuff like that.
We're gonna throw them in the garage. We're gonna, okay. You've probably been around the dogs a long time. I have dogs myself and you know, it smells like dog.
Mhm.
So we have to do something about that.
Just
Okay.
tell 'em.
Yeah, we need to
Mhm.
do something about
Yeah.
that. Because you and I like them, but Susie and Johnny don't.
And I always try to, like, when I see the dogs, make sure that they know that,
Yeah.
you know, by playing with the dogs or, you know, making sure that they know I'm comfortable with dogs. And I try to, I try to bring that across, but then some of them are like, you know, I can't hide the fact, like, yeah, I can't hide the fact
Sure.
that, damn, you know, we got an issue.
Yeah.
Like,
We gotta do something about
we
this.
have to know,
Yeah.
there is a limit to
10 of
it.
them.
Yeah, you're right. And they got like 10 running around.
10?
Just say, do you think this would be a
Air
challenge?
Oh,
It's gonna be a little bit of a challenge with the dogs.
Yeah.
Smokers, the same way.
Smoke,
Okay?
that's my
You're
next
you're a
thing.
smoker in the house, like,
oh.
do you think this is gonna hinder the sale? Yeah, well, I mean, you could paint over it and it's tough. The only way to get rid of the smokes is to really take out all the carpet, all the fabric
carpet,
stuff, blinds, everything. And then get it repainted.
Yeah.
Okay, but are they gonna do that? No. But it's gonna be part of the feedback that you're gonna get.
Right.
But we're gonna just soften the blow right away. You know, the hell with them. They don't want, if they don't care about the idea, well, at least we've already addressed it prior
Yeah,
to, right?
uh-huh.
Listen, I told you
Yeah.
what was gonna be coming along.
Okay.
So, the other stuff is we can bring in one of us. Okay, just say, listen, hey, I just took the listing. Can you guys come over here and take a look at it and tell me what you think? So we can come in
Good.
and just say, hey, you know what, Lindsay, thanks for coming with me. What do you think? Oh, you gotta declutter that whole thing right there.
Yeah.
Oh, good, that's what I brought him. I said, kind of, yeah, you need to take care of all this. So we can kind of talk about it going in, right? It's kind of a play on play and we can be the bad guy. Or I just flat out tell them, we have to get rid of all this crap. You have a beautiful countertop. You have 55 cooking apparatuses on it.
Mhm.
Like we need to show the grand scheme of this kitchen. That's what people are interested in. That's why you bought it. The cabinet space, fabulous, but I can't even see anything because you got so much crap up here. Right. So that's our conversation of we can have fun with it. I mean, it's not like we're gonna be mean, you know. I mean, what would you do? I would paint that wall. Okay, it's your first wall you see, it's just crappy. Don't you think it's crappy? We've been talking about it for 5 years. Good. 5 more
Paint it.
minutes, paint it.
Would you
I'm not listening
recommend-
until we get it.
Would you recommend paint as a, something to cover the smell if you can't identify the smell? In other words, there's no dogs, there's some smoke,
Mhm.
and then there's just people who just aren't very
Just stink.
clean.
Yeah.
And so paint is like, would be a way to kind of
Paint and
kill that.
bake some
you know,
cookies when they're
spray
coming
tan
over.
deal,
Yeah,
you
big
know.
cookies.
Yeah.
Cookies and
right.
brownies every day when we have
Mhm.
showings.
I mean, would you recommend for air
Yeah.
fresheners? I know we joke, but I mean, is
Absolutely.
that something
No,
like
for
bringing-
sure. Get some plugins.
Yeah.
Listen,
Bring
it's a
them over
smell
here.
that you're not
Bring 'em
used
in.
to, or that you guys are used to.
Mhm.
We're not.
Yeah.
You know, just get some plugins. Spend the $8 to make 18,000.
Right.
For Christ's sakes.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. Clean up the front yard, hire a landscaper, just blow all the leaves up, maybe put some new rock down, curb appeals, listen, you get one shot with all of our sellers.
Right.
Okay, we're gonna make the pictures, we're gonna get it out there, we're gonna dial this, these pictures are gonna look so nice when we get it done. But I need to get rid of all this crap. You got 4
Mhm.
lounge chairs in here. I don't need 4 recliners in your living room. Just get rid of them. Get rid of them. Put them in the garage.
Mhm.
It's not how
Open
we
it
want to
up.
see it. Show us this 1800
Mhm.
single story.
Mhm.
Now it feels like I'm in a 800.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem with it at all. And we have all those books to say, you know, a pre-listing checklist for your sellers. So we can soften the blow like, here, this is from
Right.
the National Survey of Realtors. Like, this isn't from us. Like, get rid of all your family stuff. Get rid of this, get rid of that, tidy up this. Make sure your bathrooms are clean. You don't have your towel hanging in there from the morning shower that you have. You know, think toilet
Where's that
bowl
list at?
stains.
You have
Yeah.
that list? Okay.
the listing to-dos and not to-dos. We have all that stuff. There's so much, that's what I'm saying, there's so much stuff we can give to sellers
Mhm.
that it's kind of overwhelming. So I'm just
Yeah.
saying, just trying to limit that stuff. But, no, yeah, they have a
What
great
lists to
checklist.
do and not to do for sellers.
That's a
Yeah.
great, yeah.
What is
I
that?
think I got that list.
Yeah.
Some people look at it. and
They're
some
from the
people don't.
title,
They
all the
take it
title
serious, and
companies
other
have
people
all
don't.
this stuff.
Some
Yeah.
people just- And that's the thing I worry about too, Kevin, is that, some people are
Yeah.
readers, like they will read and they will spend the time to kind of look. And
Sure.
others just, just get it done.
Yeah.
Just sell the house and get it done. I don't want to hear about this. And I don't, and then you come back and say, why the house hasn't sold. It's like, oh, because I gave you a list, 3 weeks ago. I gave you, what you needed to know on how this was going to go down 3 weeks ago. Don't be surprised that it's not going down because your house, you didn't do anything to help it. You didn't
Yeah.
declutter. You didn't, put the dogs outside.
What are we competing at? Take them to the other inventory. If we're
That's
going,
a good
we've done it plenty of times,
Yeah.
like, here you go, there's 7 houses in here. I'm taking
Right.
you out as a buyer right now.
Mhm.
Right.
We all got 350,000 in my briefcase. Why are we buying a house, Ron? Why? Am I going to buy hers? Am I going to buy yours? Whose house am I buying as a buyer?
That
So
works
let's
real
go
well.
compete. And now they're like, holy smokes, this is my
Mhm.
model? This is what it's
Uh-huh.
supposed to look like?
Yeah.
All right, let's do, okay, I'm in.
Right.
And you don't
Right.
have to say a
Yeah,
thing.
right.
All right,
That's
it
true.
kind of
Right.
sells
Right.
itself.
There you go.
Uh-huh.
So
There you go.
those are just some of the,
Okay.
the techniques and I think the type of our presentation to make them kind of make their own assessment on the house. But
Yeah.
really, and I don't have a problem with it because you had nothing when you started.
Right.
If you're going in there and you know this is going to be an absolute dogfight because I can't sell this thing at 350 with this condition, like it just isn't going to fly. So now what you're going to have to deal with is a guy every 6 weeks or every 6 days going to call you like, what's going on, Dave? Why doesn't it sell? I'm not happy. Oh, it's about, listen, it's the same story. We need to get it cleaner. It needs to, why isn't it selling?
Mhm.
I mean, we can just really, I can write it on the whiteboard. What are the things that sell the house? The location, the price, the terms, the condition. Right? Marketing, we market. They handle the price, the terms of when we can go, when we can close, how we can show it, and the condition of the house. Those are the 4 things that sell a house. You can say location, location, location all you want, but that's just out of the picture. Price, terms, condition, marketing. We control one of them. They control the other 3. They control the price, terms in which we do it, and the condition it's in. I'm gonna do my frickin' job, Mr. Seller. You watch. I just showed you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get the eyeballs. This stuff's all on you. Okay? They wanna come in and now we're talking about our brokerage fees. Other times, say, this is what we're doing. We're offering this. I'm keeping this. Okay, now you're asking me to take a 33% reduction by doing what you say to 5. My broker takes a lot of it too. So I'm really stuck with my marketing goes down. So I'm really stuck with just like this. Oh, I'm sorry.
I thought you were gonna say peace out. I thought when you got, they did this, I'm stuck with peace out. I'm not.
So it's that's part of my marketing plan. When I go in the living room, I'm like, you're asking me to discount it. So I got this stuff. I got to spend about this on my marketing. I said, so this is what I'm stuck with. How does that feel? That's not a good feeling, is it?
Oh my God, you do not do that.
Sure do.
You do?
Absolutely. You're gonna try and F me out of my money right now?
This will work
Wait
with
a minute.
everybody.
This is how we're gonna do this. You're telling me to not protect money, so I'm trying to protect, so you're hiring a guy that won't protect their own money. Now, how am I gonna protect your money? Right?
Yeah.
How am I supposed to be aggressive? Like, I'm gonna at least fight for it here a little bit. Like, wait a minute, I don't come to your job and ask you for a 33% pay cut right off the bat. Do I? You don't. I got kids at home. I got a kid in travel hockey. You know how much that is? I do my job here. Okay, this is the difference. As us doing a job, you can discount Johnny all you want. And in fact, when I leave here, I'll send you over 1% Hawks. I can call him up. He will come over here and do it for 1%. You will get nothing out of that deal, and you will lose in the long run.
Well, my mom asked me kind of a weird question this weekend. She was like, what if I want to sell my house and I know someone who wants to buy it and you don't even have to like market it or put up your sign, but you just do the paperwork. So would you still charge like the 6% to me? And I'm like, I don't know. I've never thought about that. I'm like, yeah, I think so. And then she's like, no, but it's literally just like, I have the buyer. You don't market my house. I just need you to do paperwork.
Yeah, we'll do it
I
for
don't-
5
I
because
don't
we're working
know.
both ends.
Yeah, I said, I don't really know.
Sure, 2 signs today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Let me call my broker. Hold on, and that's what I'll say. Put me on
She was like, well,
speakerphone.
you'd have to check with the broker, right? I said, yeah, I think so.
Not if you call him up right now and you have the paperwork and you say, Kevin, I got a buyer and a seller here. Can we do it? Yep.
But I think that's what happened though, because she had when they lived in California, the house next door, they sold it to my uncle, but like my mom just like referred them and they didn't have to market or anything, but she got like a full commission. So my mom was like, I don't think that's really fair. I'm like, well, I mean, I don't know. That's what it's like to be an agent. Like, I don't really know what to say. I'm just.
But here's what we want to do anyway. So let's say we get the listing and they go and they buy it and they're going through the process. It doesn't appraise. They don't qualify. The inspection comes
Yeah.
back with mold in the ceiling.
Yeah.
You know what? Now I got a listing agreement for the next 6 months. We're going to work through it. You always take care of one end before the other end. Right? So great. I'm sure you have a buyer, Kathy. We're going to work fab. What guarantees me is a listing contract. That'll guarantee me this asset goes through me only. That's it. I'll start with that and then I'll go work with Johnny and I'll put right in there. Should Johnny buy this house, SMG will take a 5% commission on it.
Would we be like
Oh,
the
okay.
dual agent or would
No,
I
then we'll
have
have
someone
one
else
of
in the
us, one of us
office?
to do it, yeah. Because we'll have somebody represent the, because
Do you
really,
ever do like dual agency?
No.
Too.
we don't do it.
too-
Company doesn't
Conflict
let
of
you.
Yeah.
interest, yeah.
Damn company policy won't let you do it.
It's
That's
smart.
a good
Smart.
policy.
We had one with Kathy's
That's a
clients.
good
It was a $1.5 million, $2 million deal. She found the buyer, wanted me to do it. I was 99% of the time I wouldn't have a problem with it. But I'm the broker.
Yeah.
And I think it would have been okay for me to do it and we would have handled it. But I was really
Yeah,
close with her seller, who was always calling us for advice. So now you want to talk about a conflict of
Oh,
conflicts,
wow.
right? So we just had one of the other agents, Dave, take care of it and write it up. So now I can actually stay in as a neutral third party,
Wow.
which I had to on both sides. You had to talk to both, right? Say, this is what's best for you, I think.
mhm.
I mean, those are the two, I got my vision going one way, one going this way, because I'm taking care of you, I'm taking care of you the best way we
Yeah,
think.
that's, yeah,
know,
really hard.
It's hard.
Mhm.
It's hard doing inter-office deals. When I don't accept your deal because ABC Realty's offer was better, now you're upset at me. Like, why? I can't believe you wouldn't promote that in an inter-op. It's not my choice.
No,
I'm
it's
going with her
clients.
choice and what they want to do is
Yeah.
best for them. Sorry, do you think I wouldn't want another offer in my office? Yes, of course I would. But it's not the best one. We're gonna do the best one. Sorry, that's the way it works. We're gonna have to go on to the next one. So we can get off sidetrack there for sure. I stayed on track today, pretty good. Normally I get off sidetrack.
You did
I think we
excellent.
did all right.
Yes.
You
So any
did
other questions,
excellent.
comments, complaints about our presentation book? And really our goal is to just get more of them. I mean, that's the deal.
Yeah.
Just to get into more living rooms, to see and feel and get that anxiety and that rush. And I'm just telling you, there's nothing better than coming out of a house knowing you just got that deal done. There's nothing better. You're coming out, now you got a lockbox on a house and now you're in bed and your house is working for you. There's nothing better. You're gonna want to take
Yeah.
6 or 8 or 10 of them because the work is done. You do it basically one time and now you're not out showing again and again and again. You're gonna say, holy smokes, like listings are the way to go. Had I just spent 15 hours on prospecting that I just spent on this buyer that ended up falling through and doing nothing and or I spent 15 hours prospecting and I got 2 or 3 listing appointments. Because let's face it, if we get anything on the market today, you have a pretty darn good chance of selling that thing.
Yeah.
And now
Not
we
like
have
driving
all,
around everywhere.
you're not driving, but right. So I mean, just give me one of your buyers that you've been working with and say, how many hours have I been working with just as one buyer? 15, 20, 30, 40, 50 hours maybe, even through the whole process of it, through the whole life of the escrow. You say, what if I just would have taken half that and done all my cold calls? If I just called everybody in the world, how many times would it take me? It probably would have taken me 10 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours.
I showed this lady like 40 condos over the past 3 months. She finally put an offer in on one of them Friday, but I was just about to drop her because I was like, this is ridiculous. And the budget's like 150. And I'm like,
Oh,
gosh, but she finally is in contract now. And I'm like, thank God.
what's the address?
Good.
It's like East
Oh.
89122 3400 Cabana.
Well,
Mm,
Again,
I know that is,
those are the
yeah.
ones you just kind of hang around
Yeah.
and, and it's true. You get so deep into it. It's like, now I went past the point of no return. So
Yeah.
now I have to keep you going because now I just
Yeah.
wasted 6 months of my life. I got to at least make $4,000 on the deal. Right?
Yeah, really.
It's hard to cut them loose.
listings today.
I like it.
I'm very motivated right
Jeff,
now.
thanks for tuning in, man.
Motivated.
Appreciate it.
One thing, one other thing,
One other thing, okay.
is that if you do all of this and you do a really, really good job, then you get the referrals, and that's how I built my
Right.
business.
Right.
Because then they're gonna refer you to whoever,
That's the
you
money.
know, and that's why these kinds of things are so important, because once you get that and you do it really well, it just spreads, you
No point
know.
of no return.
Yeah, it just
Yeah.
spreads,
It just
then.
And to
does.
your point
You could
about
find
your
nice
friend.
listings, too.
Yeah, I've been very.
Thanks, Jeff. We'll see you,
fortunate. I
bud.
really
where
have.
they want
They're
you to
very
help them.
like nice homes.
So I have,
But again,
like
that's,
Kevin said,
you
I
know,
have
you
to
sell
my
one,
practice.
then
Yeah.
oh my